Oh, goodness. Trying to place things in the right spot, button pressing again. Good morning, everyone. I am just that little bit early this morning because I do have a work day on today, and I'm looking at my phone and I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, my phone won't store anything because the memory is full. So that's what you heard, the tapping, trying to delete things so that I can take a photo of this spread to put on the social media stuff that I do. So there's always a process, isn't there, in what our days are. How do you like to actually start your day? Do you actually have a routine that you set in, almost like you're on autopilot? Because of doing these, and I'm Boundy Psychic Medium for those who are new to watching these, and I've been doing a daily Lenormand card spread reading now for over 3 years, probably coming up to the fourth, almost daily. Sometimes that does miss the mark because of either ill health or being somewhere that I'm not in the right spot with the good connection, the Wi-Fi or anything. But we are here this morning going out to my YouTube channel, which is Boundy, and the Facebook profile, the Facebook page, Boundy, also mytimetv.live, and I'm sending it out to the Soulpreneurs Lenormand card group. So Lenormand cards, and I haven't actually put my I haven't actually gone into my iPad for that yet, so I'm just about to do that. I'm trying to think, which one am I doing that in? That one. It should show up as live shortly, and hopefully not with sound. So we're here and ready to go. I've just managed to do that. So, here we go. Now I will, here we go. We'll say good morning first, and then I'll switch over to the cards. Good morning, Michaela. Lovely to have you here first in line. You were there while it was still clicking down that clock that I stopped early. So thank you for being here. And we've got Kerry Ann as well. Wonderful to have you here. And slightly different technique they're using in the background here. And there we go. Whose car's on your lawn? Is that Tony's? Yes. Yeah, he's here in preparation for when I head off on my holiday on the 17th of December, which is only, what are we now? We're on the 8th, so it's only 9 days away. I'm on the countdown. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to do the daily cards from that day. So from the Saturday, the 17th, it's likely I'll be off air a fair whack because I've got no idea what connectivity I'm going to have over in New Zealand, and I have no idea what range and how much data it is and whether I'm buying a SIM card. You know, it's all those little tricky bits about traveling. It's been years since I travelled overseas last. It was 2008. So it's a long time ago. Things have changed, and I didn't carry a phone back then. I didn't have the mobile on that trip. It was my husband at the time. And now things have changed a lot. I have Tony here going to be looking after the home space whilst away. So, and Marie Cassidy, good morning. I'm not sure if I've had you visiting here. I'm not sure what page you're on either. I'm just going to actually see about going over to my space here. Does it show up? I've just got to go and try and find where I'm at with, sorry about this. I am just going to need to source where my live is coming into in the Soulpreneurs, and it is. So, hi everyone. I'm just going to put that comment there because occasionally I do definitely have some visitors to that site as well. So wonderful to have you here, Marie, and with you is good. Yes, thank you. And you need to get cloud storage. I do have the cloud storage backup, but somehow what I did was uploaded it back into my phone or something synchronized. I don't know. It's some setting. I'm tech savvy with the desktop most of the time, but with the mobile devices, not really. Good morning, Sarah. Lovely to have you here as well. And you need the cloud storage, yeah, and on Facebook. So you're on Facebook. Yeah, it shows me you're on Facebook, but there's those 3 different places in Facebook that I'm actually sending this out to. So good morning, Rena. Lovely to see you here as well. And the Facebook Live, yeah, it's in 3 different places. It's on profile page. If it's the cartoony page icon, that's my business page. If it's my face in a much younger aspect, that would be my profile. And the mytimetv.live is the yellow icon. There's so many different ways you can have a presence on Facebook. There's so many different social media platforms now that you can be involved and included with. So it's wonderful to have that option and opportunity these days. The variety, and eventually I will be putting it as a live stream capability on my own website as well. So many, like I said, so many different opportunities. Here we go over to our cards though, because I do have them set out, and that is the purpose of what we're here for. And I haven't got it straight, which would be right. And there we go. So I've got the Gilded Reverie cards sitting here, and what I've got is my Owl card. I just pulled that from the deck. It's Today I Choose Joy. And that is something that I try right from the start, is to have the intention that today is a happy day. I am joyful. I am very grateful for what I have in my life, who I have in my life, and the experiences that I do create in that soul contract level. But it's also what others around me have chosen, the connections that we have as well, including this method of using internet to get our sharing out and about as well. And it's in its own way, it is a level of companionship and friendship that we wouldn't have otherwise. So, and almost a family, Facebook family, my YouTube family, all those avenues that we can join in on, and Soulpreneurs Avenue family as well. So here we go. What we've got, it is the Gilded Reverie LENORMAND by Ciro Marchetti. Beautiful deck, as you can tell. I am using the expanded edition, which today is absolutely very relevant because we have 3 of the cards from the expanded section in this reading today. The usual number of cards in a Lenormand deck or Lenormand deck is 36. So here we've got the 3 extras. Right from the start, the cross spread, we have in the first position, we've got the compass in our home space. So that's what energies this is around. That's where a spread actually creates these little spaces with different little meanings and energetic bases, houses, I suppose you'd call them. So compass in the home space, we've got the mask in the business or workspace. Technically, it's just the workspace because not all of us are in business. So it is the work in whatever you do for your earnings, income, livelihood. So we've got the masks there. Or mask. What we have in the unexpected position, the third space, is the books for today, and that's where it was yesterday. The books was in that particular spot, so a trend maybe. We've got more learning to do. Anyway, in this fourth space, we've got at the base of the cross is our role. So it's labelled as your role in the little card I've used as a guide all these years. I just like this spread. So your role is the Bridges card, and in the centre at the outcome, this is the outcome, but I like to call it a pivot as well. You know, it brings things together, which I've explained over the last few weeks. And this is the coffin card, and it really does bring in new energies, but we'll see how. Right, take a breath. Put your focus and connection with your spiritual guides as you're actually listening to this. So we're starting at the compass point at home space because that's where we start our day, isn't it? And complete it. You'd consider that most times you are actually in your home, or wherever you lay your head for that moment is your home space, isn't it? So compass is bringing us to that point of holding in our hands our choice of direction. We can use this tool to guide us in which way we're going to go and set out that map if you're in the old-fashioned school and had learnt at school which I did many years ago, how to use a compass to a map, and this was before internet technology. It was before, I think we probably only had the basic phone line, as in the, what do you call it? The old-fashioned way of calling it, not Android. The copper lines anyway. It was the landline phones where you had the dial-up or the press button phones. That's all we had. I learnt how to use a compass. So you would definitely hold it in your hand and wait for that magnetic north-south pole factor of it, that would find that, and you'd find what direction you were pointing toward. And if you needed to go east or south or, southwest or whatever direction, especially relevant in boating, because I did that too as a kid, as a young lady. And we had that ability to actually realign, and that's what this is sending us the message for today in our home space. Realign what you're doing, recalibrate, set yourself what your intentions are for your day today, because the busier it gets towards that really important holiday in the Western world of Christmas, whether you are Christian based or not, it's still a holiday that is held fairly sacrosanct, even for those who are skeptics or anti anything or whatever. We still have it. We are becoming so busy with that focus that we're losing focus to a point with all the things that might be on our list of to-dos. Good morning, Shaz. Lovely to have you here. So you're obviously up and about. And Nat, good morning. So as we can see, as part of our message today, it is setting that direction to where you intend it to go. So have your little checklist if you need that. Realign your mind into, instead of the chaos, bringing it into an alignment of what direction you're wanting to go. So let's shift that in a very positive way. And as we're clearing our space, we're going over to the work realm. And, there is the mask. There's, I'm almost thinking there's, because of what is the busyness of what the season is and so much planning for this Christmas and everything, that there is the falsehoods as well. Not as far as lies go, but masking who we really are and really bringing down some of that, not letting out too much information about our personal life in our workspace, that type of thing. That's the message I'm getting. So it is okay to be vulnerable to a degree, but it's also okay to actually protect self with some of that masking if you need to. But in a workspace, it can be counterproductive if you're doing that overly much, and have a little bit of discernment or inner knowing. Go with your gut feeling. I think I'm getting the feeling that Spirit's racing this out because it wants you to know, look, it's okay, whatever choice you decide to make as far as what steps you're taking in your workplace, as far as your personal space and private information in your workspace. That's what I'm getting. It is about the privacy and how much you're wanting to actually reveal or not. And it's okay. So that's what I'm feeling around this. It really brings into mind some of those things that we're doing that we feel a bit sus about sometimes. You're asked to do something you don't want to do. Voice it out as well, and share your concerns with someone else if you need to the point of what you're comfortable in sharing. And if you need to reveal the mask, reveal, take off what you need to reveal. It is all part of what you need to be sensing in your work, okay? I'm just getting that feeling in the gut. So rely on your gut feelings around what you're sensing energetically. And, it's your intuition tapping in. It's your guiding spirits tapping on your shoulder. Those moments is what I'm feeling there. Because there can be, and the politicizing, that there's a word there that's coming through. If it's relevant for you, do trust that. Trust what Spirit's trying to let you know. And it is clearing space. We'll find out in the end. That's the outcome. Using what your knowledge is, the unexpected here is the book. So there's going to be those moments where you're needing to do a little bit more research or getting to know a bit more detail about what you're doing. So it could be something to do with a project or process that you're needing to set in place for your workspace. And the moments, it does almost feel like for the home space, I'm getting that message of sit down and spend a bit of time that is your time. If you like reading a good book, read a chapter or two again. I think that's why there's a bit of this as it's in the same place as yesterday, that we're needing to continue that energetics around taking some time to read and something that's enjoyable. I am feeling more for the workplace. It is staying, and SOP, it is that standard operating procedures factor. It almost feels like there's some of that coming in, creating that process, but also being able to allow some time that is an enjoyable reading factor that you're actually doing. And it feels like a research in something that's happening in work that's enjoyable. It's not just the hard slog, okay, of writing procedures or things like that, whatever is involved in your workspace. And it probably pops up because I know for my work I'm doing some of that as well. So here we go. We're moving through the coffin energy. We're down to the bridges being our role today. And it's decisions, it's making choices. But with the bridges, I've always felt since I first saw this card that it's got a lot to do with having the choice, being able to delay if you want to. And, instead of crossing this first one, if you're choosing not to, you're standing there perusing for a while in that little hut or intermission, that you can choose to go back and wait till the next time, or travel that harder path, that longer path, to make that choice and decision later. That's what I felt. And it can be that beautiful, the glowing light will by then be closer and more clear, like having the clarity to really take the step in that next process, but have the understanding too that it may be a bit of a harder slog to get to that point. Do now what you can, rather than holding off and making it harder for yourself later. That sort of decision making is ours today. So really think in it, feel in it, what you're actually needing to choose. Because what we've got here is this outcome card, is that is, it's dead energy. A coffin is about death, and we know that in life there is always death. It's a hard one for us to really fully understand and take on until we ourselves are actually going to pass through that veil of, the physical body not being here for us anymore. And the things that we treasure, what is it that you treasure that you're needing to lay and die or pass on, cleanse the energy? Because here we've got the God sending on the soul to the next life. And it's that energy of really sending on what we don't need to where it needs to go, whether we recycle, whether it really does need to go to landfill, whether we're clearing relationships ready for a Christmas session, for what's coming in our holidays, or whatever purpose that is, that it actually is a cleansing. It's shifting energies. It's moving on with what is next and allowing ourselves to grieve, because we certainly do hold on to some of our possessions in a way that we grieve their passing and the fact they broke, or the fact they're no longer useful. Some we don't. We can quite easily, chuck over the shoulder, let someone else gather them and use them, that type of thing. I'm really feeling that the coming together of bringing this, having our direction realigned and deciding what we really do need to reveal or not, and taking on more knowledge or pleasurable reading, taking on and bringing in, it needs that cleansing of what isn't needed any longer so that we can fit it in. Like my phone that hasn't got the storage anymore, and I've got to clear out files, and yet I know they're backed up somewhere. Do I know where? That I'm going to suss out before I continue deleting some things, so that forward passing on is clear to take on for storage, or it's just deleted and bringing more in. So that's the whole of what this reading is. What is it meaning for you? I do think it is clearing out and cleansing and, just sorting a bit of stuff so that we've got that better clarity of what direction we're going to make these choices. And it is a day of choices today in many ways. So tap into what your spirit guides are giving you, sending you, and have the awareness that they might be tapping on your shoulder to give you particular information around certain areas that you're needing to be taking notice of today. Especially if you, I've got it definitely in my mobile phone, one of them in my mobile phone to clear out stuff so that it does give that clear pathway for more to come in. And it's taking those steps with clear choice, that the understanding around the choices that we're making, hence the books. So, look, whatever it means for you, step into it in that trust with your spirit guides, in what you feel at your gut level that's happening for you in your life. Take those moments where you're needing to breathe through anything that might be a bit difficult so that you can actually meditate on it is a word that I'm getting, but it's not really a meditation. It feels more like a consideration of the energies around how you're learning what you're needing to do next, or what you're needing to understand and learn from it. Build those spirit muscles and things that really get us to grow in a more meaningful way rather than just the superficial. That's what I'm feeling with it today. So thank you for joining in. Certainly share out that this is on in the mornings at least until the 17th for this year. I don't know what's going to happen after that. So the last one that I know will be a broadcast as the daily card spread reading will be the 16th. I'm not sure yet even if I've got a time on the morning of when I fly out. So it's likely I won't. I'll be closing down everything to do with my computers on that day here at home. And we'll just see what progresses from there. Keep your notifications on to check it out. But anyway, I am going to be here tomorrow morning around the 8 o'clock, and I am still planning to do the Fridays fun and chat. It won't be with Leanne. It'll be as a solo again, unless someone wants to put their hand up and join me. You can certainly message me to do that, and I can have you on screen. So it's fun. It is fun. So thank you from Rena, and thank you from Marie. It's lovely to have each and every one of you on here sharing my time as my Facebook family or as my online family. It's wonderful. I love doing these, so I'm definitely going to miss it too if I can't. But that's what life is when you choose to go on a holiday and don't know what it's like at the other end for the connections. Yeah. So keep being the best you, and namaste. Got to put that one up, Michaela. Thank you. Bye for now.